I'm Bruce Soli with Engel and Volkers in Incline Village, and I'm here with my good friend Bryan Wallpe, who's also a top-notch lender here in Incline, and we do a lot of business together. Happy to have you here, Bryan.
Great to be here, Bruce.
All right. Hey, so we just wanted to share some information with our clients and find out a little bit about what's going on in the lending world, and is now a good time to be looking at purchasing or refinancing?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a great time. The National Association of Realtors publishes what's called an affordability index. So right now, because rates are so low, it's a great time to consider buying, because you can buy more house with lower rates. So right now, interest rates are essentially about a full percentage point, maybe a little more than that, lower than they were a year ago. They're right around the 4% and slightly below that.
Okay.
Depending on what your closing cost preferences are. So it's a real good time not only to look at purchasing, but also to look at possibilities of refinancing, or at least restructuring some of your debt. Look at it as a strategic plan, a financial plan.
So with your consultations that you do, you generally look at people's entire financial portfolio and really help them to make informed decisions on good purchasing decisions, if it makes sense to refinance.
That's exactly what my practice is all about, is looking at more of a holistic approach on their investment strategies and their liabilities, so a full balance sheet approach, if you will, and advise on what some of the best strategies would be for home ownership, and then also how to structure their liabilities and pay the overall lowest cost of interest over time. Starting that process early can really make a huge difference, not only whether or not you qualify, how we can position you to qualify, but what kind of interest rate you're going to get. And as you mentioned, credit, right? If we have enough time, if there's something on your credit report that you might not have been aware of, but we have some time to clean it up before you make that offer, we can sometimes save you, 3/8 to 1/4% on your mortgage rate, something that's extremely significant.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that point up, Bryan. We often do have people that are coming to town and they feel that they're extremely qualified, but they haven't even started that process. So I know that saves us a lot of time. I always try to ask people to make sure that they have started the process if they're going to be getting a loan in advance. So that's really good information for us.
Yeah, and all that stress that you have to go through in getting a loan and then starting the purchase process, gosh, you can really spread that out a little bit where it'll be a lot less stress for a buyer.
And create delays along the way. So that's
exactly.
Yeah, we try to structure our offers to where we have stringent timelines, and if we can't adhere to those because of issues that should have been thought of in advance, it makes the whole process a whole lot easier.
You bet. And not to mention, you have better negotiating power if you've already gone through the loan process, and you can give that extra comfort to the seller that your financing is solid.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This time of year, is it a good time for people to look to buy right now, just based on the seasonality in Tahoe and what happens?
Yeah. So what's typical about the seasonality here is we've just come out of a terrific and busy summer. Things are starting to slow down a little bit, but people still have that Tahoe bug and they still want to buy their places up here. We will traditionally see a slowdown in the market, buyer activity anyway, right around Thanksgiving, till up to about Christmas. Right after the Christmas holidays, it seems that people get excited about putting together their New Year's resolutions, and along the lines of, okay, we're gonna work out, we're gonna be in better shape and all that. And they also say, this is the year I'm gonna buy that home in Lake Tahoe. Right. And it becomes one of their New Year's resolutions. So it's really funny that just after Christmas, how things pick up. A lot of sellers up here in this market think that nobody buys in the winter time, so some of the properties go off. So we generally have a little bit lower inventory. From a seller's perspective, it's a good time to be on the market. Right. From a buyer's perspective, you're just excited because this is the year. So let's start the process now. And so that seems to be a typical reoccurring process here.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Bud, I think it's great. I had having this time to get together, and you and I always bounce good ideas off each other. So let's keep this up.
Awesome.
All right, Bud.
Thanks, Bruce.
Cheers.